Yeah, that's going pretty good. The purpose of this video I kind of missed. Obviously, I'm just made some pretty good headway here. The bit got stuck a little bit. I got too aggressive, went too far. I'm just gonna go get a wedge and pound that in there. But yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, see, that stuff is still really hard in there. But I think honestly, if I get this leg and this out of here and maybe take this one, I should be able just to pick this up with the forks and get this out of here. But I'd call that a win. You know, I'm into the attachment for 250 bucks. Obviously this hitch portion was free, bolts another 20 bucks, and then this blank hitch plate, I think I paid 120 bucks for this whole setup. You know, for having use of this wood drill bit, let's just say I'm into it for 500 bucks, whatever. But obviously if I was using this on a smaller stump, I mean, I think this thing would just crush anything, you know, 10 inches in full diameter, no problem. Obviously for this here it takes some work, but anyway, yeah, that's that. I'm gonna go ahead and get the wedge split on this, and I'll probably do 1 or 2 more videos of just testing out and feeling out the splitting on here. And then we got this girl here to take and get after, so that should be kind of fun. And I think you know, same thing, just scrape off some of this dirt, and hopefully I can just take that wedge and just run it out of here and just split some of these chunks out of here. I don't know why it wouldn't be that easy. Obviously I could take and chainsaw this whole thing off, but I'll probably just play around for the video. You know, I'm thinking too, let's say you take and drive that wedge down here, this should just split that off and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, that's all for this episode here. Yeah, please like, subscribe, comment down below. J-Bros out. I'm just kind of playing around, but the main reason why I wanted to do this video, because I was doing a test, because I was talking to my dad earlier today, and another gentleman had asked. I have not turned this fan around. So as far as the fan on the motor blowing into the machine, I have not switched that to blow this way on the machine. Okay, the machine fan kicks on at 50 degrees Celsius on the machine. What I found interesting on one of the other tests, and this is the first time I was actually paying attention, when the fan kicks on it kicks on at 50 degrees Celsius. Well, as soon as this fan kicked on, I was paying attention. Once that fan kicked on, you'd think, okay, well, that's going to help start cooling the machine. What it did is it went from 50 degrees Celsius automatically when the fan kicked on to like 62. Well, what that tells me, that fan started blowing heat into the machine, heating it up, rather than obvious, you know, the fan should be blowing out, cooling the machine off. So that's something to just, you know, compartmentalize. So that's why now I'm gonna switch the fan over to blowing out of the machine, and we'll see if that 10-12 degrees Celsius even happens. To me, it shouldn't. It should start blowing the heat out, cooling the machine off. But I wanted to point that out in this video of getting the machine up to temp, and then, like I said, immediately when that fan kicked on, it kicked the heat up 10 to 12 degrees because it's blowing more heat into the machine. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. The next video I do on the heating will be with the fan blowing out in reverse mode. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. J Bros out.